When the world first opened to us, we rushed out a blank that expectation could not color, because we did not taste that yet. Our minds raced in a billion different directions. Our minds, like new playgrounds, we swung from our curiosities and yelled for someone to make us go higher. And if there was no one to push us, we knew to kick our own feet off the ground. We knew flight. And when the adults would visit our floating world, they'd leave in a daydream where their memories archived returned on waves of warmth and glee. This was our power. Our first words breathed promise, echoed a grand chorus of could be. Our first steps left impressions of soon to be, destined to run deep one day. In those days, we wore the crown. In those days, we were versed in, I can be anything. So when I was told to enjoy it while it lasted, I wondered if the playground would unbolt itself into a pile of steel bars. If, like the bones of an imagination, it would cast itself down under with the floating world that had sprung feet and forgot about its wings. I wondered if I'd still get to play hide and go seek, or if I'd get playtime and recess. I knew at the very least I'd still get to play pretend that my I can be anything is supposed to become I could have been. And that would never have to end.
We are sheep, wolves, and lions trapped in a den. Never had what was needed, so I camouflaged myself in the jungle. High school is a time to hide behind masks and faces until you can't recognize your own reflection. I've contoured my skin, drew in muscles above the skinny, sewn smiles, wore false halos. I even cut my heart from my chest and stitched it to my sleeve. I'm not sure I'll ever remember my own first face. I'm afraid I'll never remember where I started from, even though I haven't traveled that far. You see, 4 years have rung. So where will I go after Father Time kicks me out of his domain? I will be thrown into pools full of liquor, falsehoods, and newfound freedom. High school was a time to hide behind masks and faces until I couldn't recognize my own reflection. I had to convince myself to burn, recognize what I became as unfamiliar, versed with the unknown, and I needed a flicker to see, so I phoenixed. The day I finally breathed fire, my voice broke the sound barrier and a new sonic wave cracked the mystery I tried to become. This revealed to me, this is a time for regret, to leave the nest, to free the caged bird, to fly, to return, to enter as an uncertainty, and when asked what you are when you exit, say, you are becoming. We must cultivate the chaos, the broken hearts, the immature romance, the failures, the unsolved equation, and apply every lesson into the new world we are about to enter. Repurpose pain and failure into weapons and armors to havoc the opposition that tries to push you into limits, but the limit does not exist. So do not surrender to everything you are not, because the face consistent will be the face remembered. Only the real will prevail. Only the real will ascend. Only the real will become. So when I wear the waning tassel and the garments of succession, every regret sailing will Titanic and sink into the words, everything I'm not makes me everything I am. Never had what was needed, so
When the world first opened to us,
I camouflaged myself in the jungle.
and we rushed out High school is a blank that expectation could not color.
A time to hide behind masks and faces until you can't recognize your own reflection.
Because we did not taste that yet. Our minds
Minds.
raced into 1 billion different directions.
I've contoured my skin, drew in muscles above the skinny,
Our senses, larger than we were, already busy taking in,
sewn smiles,
staring wide-eyed and
wearing halos over
our minds like new playgrounds. My head swung from my heart
and yelled for
someone to make sure that there was no one to ever remember my own first face.
Where I started from.
We knew to kick our own feet off the ground. We knew flight. It didn't even feel like a daydream.
High school was
the ground beneath us.
A time to hide behind masks and faces until I couldn't recognize my own.
I can be anything.
I had to convince myself to enjoy it while it lasts.
And I wondered
what I became
as if the playground could unbolt itself into a pile of steel bars.
So, like the bones of an imagination, I phoenixed the day
that it would cast itself down under.
I finally breathed fire
with the floating world.
That cracked the mystery
about its wings.
I tried to become
laid down, flat and obedient, smoothed over.
To free the caged bird and sink into the words.
I could have been. Everything I'm not makes me everything I am.
Versed in the unknown, repurposed a verse from
I can be anything. Now, we are sheep, wolves, and lions trapped in play pretend. I know at the very least I can still get to wear the crown. And that would never have to end.